My dear students, I welcome all of you for today's session on system modeling and simulation. Okay, in this session, we will discuss a very important topic. Okay, and optimization means first I'll tell you what actually optimization means. Okay, then we will have a discussion about optimizing simulation model. Got it? I mean, for a given problem, there can be any number of solutions. Clear? So, among those solution may be a designed model. Got it? So, among those several models for a given real system, which model is best? Which model is optimum? Okay, so we will decide optimization via simulation in this session. Okay, got it. So, and one more thing. Okay, I think you're familiar with what is optimum. Got it. So, hope I taught you in design and analysis of algorithms some problems like knapsack problem. Got it. Traveling salesperson problem. Okay, and some other problems we have discussed in strategy, branch and bound. So there we are given a problem, okay, for which we need to find an optimum solution, optimal solution. I mean to say, okay, let me tell you, optimal means suppose when I want to make a profit, okay, what I'm going to do, I look for that particular solution, okay, which yields maximum profit, right? I never go for a less profit. I'll always look for maximum profit. Means, let me tell you an example, okay. You have purchased a plot, you have purchased a site for 20 lakhs, okay. After 2 years, you plan to sell that. So one customer will come to you, will say, I will pay 2 lakhs more than what we have purchased. Means you will offer 22 lakhs. Means if you sell your plot to that particular person, you will get 2 lakhs profit. Clear? So suppose, let me say, the other person will come, he will say, I will pay you 3 lakhs more. Got it? So when you plan to sell your plot, okay, there may be number of customers, they will offer a price to you, their purchase price to you. Okay. So whom you are going to select? The one particular customer who is going to purchase it for a huge price. Means you should get profit maximum. Got it? So of course, you're going get MC. All the customers are paying amount more than what you have purchased. Got it? So more than what you have purchased means we call such, maybe I can call it a feasible. Feasible means, let me say, I tell you, there's something as feasible and optimal. Feasible means have some condition, okay. So I purchased for 20 lakhs. I should get at least 1 lakh more than that. This is, I should get profit at least 1 lakh. Minimum 1 lakh, this is my expectation. So first customer said he will offer 22 lakhs. Means you're going to get 2 lakhs profit, right, from if you sell to him. So that means it's a feasible. I call it's a feasible. Means my condition, what add condition, that is going to be satisfied. Next person is going to come and say, I will offer, I'll pay you 23 lakhs. Means again it's feasible because my condition was that I should get at least 1 lakh profit, but here I'm going to get 3 lakhs. Got it? The other person will come and you say you that you will pay 25 lakhs. So again, it's a feasible because I was expecting at least 1 lakh profit, but I am getting 5 lakhs profit. Got it? Suppose if the other person comes and he will say, sir, I'll pay 20 lakhs plus 52. Got it? Now, I won't say this to be feasible because my expectation was at least 1 lakh profit. Okay, but for the last person who said who offered 20 lakhs 50,000, there's a profit of 50,000. Okay, so this is my expectation was at least 1 lakh. That is constraint. I'll call some condition. Okay, so the last person's offer doesn't meet my constraint. Got it? So that I'll call infeasible solution. Whereas all other persons customers offer were feasible because they met my constraint, my condition. But among those customers whom you are going to serve, got it? That particular customer who is going to offer 25 lakhs. Got it? Means I'm going to get maximum profit. So this we call optimum. Got it? So maximization problem. Got it? Clear with this? So see, in case of profit, I will always look for maximum. Got it? So maximum profit, that maximum threshold it will reach. Okay, that threshold I will call optimal solution because no one else offered more than 25 lakhs. So 25 lakhs was the final selling price. Okay, at that context. So that we call optimal solution. All optimal solution. I repeat, one for 21 lakhs. Sorry, 22 lakhs, 23 lakhs, 25 lakhs. All those are feasible because they met my constraint. Okay, all those are feasible because they met my constraint. Got it? So, but among this feasible, which I'm going to say optimal, the one which is maximum profit. Clear? So, I mean all feasible, I mean all optimal solutions are feasible, but not all feasible solutions are optimal because the one offer 22 lakhs is a feasible but not optimal. Clear? The one who offered 23 lakhs is feasible but not optimal. The one who offered 25 lakhs is feasible as well optimal. So the first two were feasible but not optimal. So what I can say, all feasible solutions are not optimal, but all optimal solutions are feasible because when I say only optimal solution, that is the one who offered 25 lakhs, it's feasible too. Got it? So now when I come to minimization, there's something profit. I look for maximum, right? So what about the loss? See, suppose let me say you have purchased a new car, okay, worth 10 lakhs. You have paid 10 lakhs and you have purchased a car. Got it? So next, after an year or two, you're going to you plan to sell your car. So always we know that car price will be depreciated, right? Got it. So one, what your constraint is that if you incur a loss, if you incur, of course you're going to incur a loss. But what you don't want to incur, you don't want to incur a loss. Okay, you don't want to incur a loss. Okay, more than 2 lakhs. Got it? So you have purchased a car for 10 lakhs. Now you are going to sell it after 2 years. But when you sell, your objective is that you don't want to incur a loss below loss about 2 lakhs. You don't want to incur a loss about 2 lakhs. Got it? Means you are ready to sell it if any customer comes and offer at least 8 lakhs. Clear? Got it? Because you don't want to incur a loss of about 2 lakhs, means you are ready to sell it for any customer who offer 8 lakhs, at least 8 lakhs or above 8 lakhs. Clear? So now, let me tell you, what is constraint here? Okay, now let me tell you, one customer will come, he will tell you, sir, I will offer 7.5 lakhs. Will you give me car? So what you will do? Your constraint is that you don't want to have a loss about 2 lakhs. But here, if you sell to him, you will incur a loss of 2.5 lakhs. So, what you will do? You are not going to sell him. because it didn't met your constraint. It didn't met your condition. Clear? So we call that customer's offer an infeasible. It's not feasible. Now, here, now, then the second customer will come. He will tell you, he will offer 8.5 lakhs. Okay, he is going to offer an 8.5 lakhs to buy your car. So here you are going to incur what the loss? 1.5 lakhs. But you don't want to incur about 2 lakhs. But in this case, you are having a loss of 1.5 lakhs. So this is feasible. This customer's purchase price is feasible. So next, this third customer will come, sir, I will offer 9 lakhs. I'll pay you 9 lakhs. So now, in this case, you will incur a loss of 1 lakh. Got it? So again, it's a feasible, right? Because it is not about 2 lakhs. The loss is not about 2 lakhs. Loss is just a lakh. So even this third customer's purchase price is also feasible. Got it? So next, fourth customer will come, sir, I will pay you 9.25 lakhs. 9 lakhs 25,000 I will pay. So in this case, third case, you will incur loss of what? 75,000. Got it? So even the third customer purchase price is feasible because it is the second, third, and fourth customers. Sorry, this last customer, that's fourth, right? First customer I said is ready to purchase for 7.5 lakhs. There you are going to incur 2.5 lakhs loss. So that's not feasible. Whereas second, third, and fourth offered you 8 lakhs, I think 8 or 8.5 lakhs, something. 8.5 lakhs, 9 lakhs, 9.25 lakhs. Got it? So now you will see that in the third customer's purchase price, there's a minimum loss. Clear? Minimum loss of what? 75,000. Got it? So now whom you are going to sell your car? For the fourth customer. Don't get third or fourth. Okay, don't get confused. But you know the price, the offered price, right? One is 8.5, which is feasible. 9 also feasible. 9.25 is also feasible. In this 9.25 lakhs, the one customer who offered to buy for 9.25 lakhs, you will sell your car because there you are going to get minimum loss 75,000. Okay, so this among feasible solution, in case of loss, what I'm going to do, I'll choose that feasible solution. Got it? That feasible solution I will choose. I mean to say, I will choose that feasible solution which gives minimum loss. So, no, what now again, if I say threshold for this minimum, okay, means the one who offered 9.25, okay, no other customers are ready to offer to buy, okay, from above 9.25, means none of the customers are ready to buy with a price above 9.25. So this 9.25 I call a threshold, minimum threshold. Okay, so not it's like a minimum threshold for minimum, means behind which we can't go further. I can't get a loss of minimum 50,000. Got it? So clear with this. In case of loss, I look for minimum loss. In case of profit, I will look for what? Maximum profit. So such problems where we look for minimum loss, where we look for maximum profit, okay, we call optimization problems. Clear with this? Optimization problems. So got it? What actual optimization problem? Those problems whose objective is to determine an optimum solution. In case of loss, minimum. In case of profit, max. Clear? So now, what actually optimization via simulation? Okay, we'll see that. So the agenda of today's session. So introduction to optimization. Hope I've given you an introduction. Got it? I hope I made you easily. I made you to understand very easily what actually an optimization. Clear? Hope everyone are clear with optimization. Because I've taken a simple example of profit in case of selling a plot. Got it? And I discussed about minimum loss in case of selling a car. Got it? So now you are clear with optimization. That minimum loss or maximum profit we call optimal solution. So the then after introducing you to optimization, now what how optimization is related to simulation. What actually optimization was simulation mean? Got it? I said a simulation model, building a model is for what? It's for real system. I mean, I told one real system. I have in a class, I have students. This is one particular real system. I want you people to simulate. You need to design a model for this particular system, particular real system. So what you will do? Everyone will come up with the model. Everyone will come up with a simulation model. Okay, everyone's model reflects the real system, but everyone's model is based on different strategies. Got it? Now what I got, everyone's model I found to be feasible. Let me say feasible means they reflect accurately system behavior. Got it? But which model I need to prefer now? Which model I need to suggest to audience? Got it? So now I need to look for that model. I need to select the model among the models designed by you. Okay. And that model should optimize the performance of a system. Okay. Means that I need to prefer that model through which performance of the model or performance of the system will increase. For example, say in case of bank, okay, uh, delay of the customer waiting in queue should be reduced. Clear? Delay of the customer waiting in queue should be reduced. Next, what I can say, uh, server utilization. Okay, how frequent server is being utilized, that should be managed. Server utilization in case of bank should be managed. Okay, that I will discuss next. But optimization in general case, okay, for general problems, it's very easier. But when I have several models, okay, when I have several models, okay, I need to select one particular model which I can say an optimal. Okay, that's very difficult because for a single system there may be thousands to millions of models. Clear? Thousands to millions of models. So selecting an optimal model among this will be difficult. And what are those reasons? We'll see. Okay. So now coming to introduction. Okay. So now, in general, I had to given you an introduction, right, through profit and loss. But now, as per your syllabus, textbook syllabus, okay, sorry, as per prescribed textbook, okay, as per prescribed textbook, I need to tell you about optimization through this systems. One is something known as materials handling system. Second one is a liquefied natural gas transportation system. Third one is automobile engine assembly. Fourth one is traffic signal sequencing. And the fifth one is online services. So now, clear? In simple, you have come to know what actually an optimization through profit and loss. As per prescribed VTU textbook, okay, you need to know about optimization through material handling system, liquefied natural gas transportation system, automobile engine assembly, traffic signal sequencing, online services. So now let me tell you what actually materials handling system. Okay, just have a look at this pic. Okay, now I'll tell you. See, material handling system is something like a factory fully automated. Okay, a factory fully automated. Got it? Means that factory where robots or machines are used to ship the items from one stall to other stall. I mean, from one room to other room, or to load the item to truck, whatever it be, to load item from a rack to a trolley. Got it? There'll be trolley, right? What we'll do, we'll go enter to supermarket, right? So after entering supermarket, what I'll do, at the entrance there'll be trolley. I will take the trolley and I'll go through the entire supermarket, and whatever the items I feel, I will pick and I'll load it to trolley. Then at the checkout, okay, checkout means the billing section. What I'll do, I'll unload the items from trolley. Got it? And I'll come out of the supermarket. So that is a manual one. But what you feel, suppose see at the when you enter supermarket, just there's some robot is there. You just think there's a robot. Just hand over your checklist to robot. Got it? Hand over your checklist to robot. Then the robot itself is going to take a trolley. Okay, looking at a checklist, the robot is will go itself, okay, to the particular rack and chooses the item that has been specified in your list. Okay, and it will load the trolley. Then the robot will come at the billing section. Even the billing section is fully automated. Got it? Think it's a fully automated. There it will be unloaded. You need to pay the bill. Then you need to leave the supermarket. Okay, so fully automated. So now, just in this, I'll tell you. But what is the objective here? Okay, so first let me tell you. Now, this is about material handling system. Okay, means the question is that, see, to build a robot. Okay, okay, that in the first column at the second. In the second pick, okay, what you can see that's similar to trolley. Okay, here the trolley is moving itself. Even I can say it's a fully automated trolley. Okay, automated guided vehicle I call. Means just give an instruction to that vehicle, it will move. Got it? To the rack where it need to move. Okay, so I mean, yeah, what actually objective means? Okay, because of a competency among supermarkets. Okay, or among factors. Okay, what? Because if each one are going to have robots, okay, automated guided vehicles, okay, automated trolleys, okay, what happens? The cost for procuring, okay, those robots will be more. So, but without those robots, the performance might lag. So what the supermarkets or those factories, okay, those system materials handling system performance should be more, but with the minimum number of robots, minimizing the number of robots, minimizing the number of automated guided vehicles. So here, what is constraint is that performance should be maximum, Constraint is performance, I should get maximum. Okay, but I need to look for procuring the robots with minimum cost. Got it? I mean, one more. So, okay, let me have number of robots. Okay, but cost of acquisition of robots should be minimum. Got it? So here it's nothing but minimization problem. Okay, or with the performance max. Okay, I tell you. So engineers need to design. Okay, being an engineer. Okay, engineers need to design a materials handling system consisting of, okay, in materials handling system, when I say automated supermarket, okay, it consists of what? Fully automated storage. Okay, fully automated storage and retrieval device. I said, right, the robot is going to move to that particular storage, that particular rack, and the robot itself is going to retrieve. Got it? So means MHS consists of a large automated storage and retrieval device. Okay, retrieval device and automated guided vehicles. Automated guided vehicles means this robots what you can see in the pic. Okay, the trolley. We call automated guided vehicles because there's no driver for that. Okay. Then there will be AGV stations, automated guided vehicle stations will be there. In case a factory is a huge one, substations, sub-complex, sub-factories. Okay, and this robot, let me tell you, this trolley goes to the rack. When trolley goes to the rack, there should be some lifters, right? To this, as you see in the second pick in the first column, trolley just goes to the rack, and there should be some lifter at the rack. We call robot. Okay, that lifts. Okay, and places that item on the trolley. Then trolley, what it does, it acts like a conveyor. Conveyors means those who moves the objects from one place to other. Got it? So I mean, the engineer should design a materials handling system consisting of a large automated storage and retrieval device, automated guided vehicles, automated guided vehicle stations, lifters, and conveyors. I repeat, means material handling system built should have a large automated storage like racks and retrieval device from this automated storage like robots. Okay, automated guided vehicles like trolley. Okay, automated guided vehicle stations like at the entrance there will be trolleys like. Okay, lifters. What I said, robot. Lifter is nothing but a robot. Okay, conveyors means trolley moving from one place to other. So these are some design variables, means how many automated guided vehicles should be there. Clear? And for each trolley, there will be some capacity, the even that should be decided. Okay, number of automated guided vehicles, the load per automated guided vehicles. Okay, and the routing algorithm. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, you are given a checklist to robot. Okay, so among this checklist, there are some 15 to 20 items. Okay, which item should be chosen first? Got it? So, which item should be chosen first? Clear? That need to be means which items among the list if selected. Okay, very fast. Okay, within no time gap. We make without making customer long for a huge time gap. All items can be loaded. Okay, so there should be some routing algorithm. Okay, these are some decision variables. Okay, we need to design on this. So alternative designs will be evaluated. Means several models. Okay, to choose the best model, what I'll do, I will look for automated guided vehicle utilization, transportation delay for the materials that need to be moved, and overall investment and operation cost. So there are several designs several models for materials handling system. But to choose which is an optimum, we have some decision variables. Okay, that we will see. Decision variables are input. That is nothing but number of AGVs, automated guided vehicles, the load per automated guided vehicle, and the routing algorithm. With this inputs, we look for outcome measures. That is automated guided vehicle utilization, transportation delay, okay, and overall investment and operation cost. Now, coming to uh, liquefied natural gas. Coming to liquefied, okay, natural gas transportation system. Okay, liquefied natural gas transportation system. Now we are in Vinod, right? We have seen airlifting the oxygen because at present oxygen is a need, right? So we are importing oxygen from other countries, from other states. This we call airlift. We have heard about airlift, right? Okay. Similarly, here, liquefied natural gas transportation means it's a gaseous form, but it will be transferred. Okay, it will be converted into liquefied form. Okay, and it need to be shipped. Okay, it need to be moved from one place to the other place through a ship. Okay, so let me say here in liquefied natural gas. Okay, same thing. It's similar to what that materials handling system. Got it? Clear. So now here the input variables are okay. It now efficiency depends. Input, what actually input means? See, I want to move the large quantity, large volume of liquefied natural gas at a time. Okay, so means as large as possible. Got it? So that depends on what number of tankers. Got it? LNG tankers, and also it depends on loading, how at the source, how the liquefied natural gas will be loaded to these tankers, and also at destination, how it will be unloaded, storage facilities, how it will be stored. Got it? So LNG transportation system consists of LNG tankers and of loading, unloading, and storage facilities. So again, here what tankers, everything will incur cost, right? So what I need to do, performance should be more, but I need to minimize cost. Got it? So what I said in materials handling system, AGV utilization should be high. Automated guided vehicles utilization should be high. Transportation delay should be minimum. Okay, output measures. Utilization should be high, transportation delay should be minimum. And the cost of investment and operation cost should be less. Overall investment and operation cost should be less. Similarly, here in liquefied natural gas transportation system, okay, we need to minimize cost. Okay, so minimize cost. Designers can control tanker size. Tanker size we need to take into consideration. Number of tankers in use. Okay, number of jetties. Jetties means the one who moves here. Okay, it's nothing but movement. Jetties, number of jetties. Okay, I mean at the loading. I mean to say, see here I need to minimize cost. To minimize cost, what I need to consider number of tankers, tanker size. Okay, number of jetties at loading and unloading. Means jetties means like some robot you think it. Okay, which loads to the tanker. Okay, and unloads from the tank, and a capacity of storage. Got it? Clear with this? So the next we have automobile engine assembly. In automobile engine assembly, okay, Like see, you might have seen a huge factory, a huge car manufacturing factory. Okay, so in each, suppose there be queue. Okay, somewhere queue of assembly line in some line. Okay, uh, uh, the major parts of the car will be assembled. In some other queue, the minor parts of the car will be assembled. Okay, so this parts of the car to be assembled, right? And it's a step by step. Some part will be assembled in one queue, we call one workstation. The other parts will be assembled in other queue, we call the other workstation. I can call it a workstation, whatever it be. Got it? So, yeah, how many such lines should be there? How to manage? Because as soon as one part is assembled, it will move to the other line. So there should not be delay. I need to minimize the delay. Got it? So while minimizing the delay, I need to consider into account uh, number of attendants, okay, service engineers, might be a robot, okay, at each line, okay, and number of such lines, and what may be the length of the line, okay, this need to be considered. So in an assembly line, a large buffer queue between workstations, large buffer and a large queue means it may increase the station utilization, because number of customers max means it is utilized efficiently. Got it? Because it will tend to something waiting to be processed. Got it? So larger the queue, efficient utilization, but delay and more space. Larger the queue, space should be more, right? We need to consider that. Okay. So allocation of buffer that minimizes some of this competing cost is desired. Got it? Larger the queue means station is utilized efficiently, but to accommodate everyone in queue, space should be large. To accommodate all cars, space should be large. Got it? Clear. So this is about automobile engine assembly. Then we have two more: traffic signal sequencing and online services. For this, I have not taken any tip because it's very okay. Traffic signal sequencing. You have you have seen traffic. Okay, you know about traffic now. You're at the signal. So what happens? Efficiency of that traffic signal. What I can say that particular point. So those lines with larger queue, okay, should be permitted to move fast. Means, see here, the main agenda here is that, okay, we need to avoid a busy section of road, right? Busy section of road should be avoided to reduce what? To reduce busy section of road should be avoided to reduce driver delay, and should avoid congestion. Okay, clear? Yeah, no. About traffic signal sequencing. Okay. So we have seen huge traffic in Bangalore and all, right? Bangalore, Mysore, okay, Delhi, Mumbai. So when you plan to go from one place to another place, when you are stuck in a traffic, what you will feel? You will be frustrated. Got it? Of traffic signal, huge traffic. So what see traffic signal, okay? Usually what we'll feel, okay, for each lane, okay, traffic signal duration might be fixed, maybe for 2 minutes. Got it? 120 seconds or 180 seconds. So rather than what we can do, we need to, okay, avoid we need to reduce as possible as busy section of road. Got it? Means based on the number of vehicles, okay, length of the queue, length of the traffic, the signal, okay, need to be turned red, green should be automated. Where the length of the vehicle, length of the traffic is huge, they need to be allowed to pass for longer duration. Okay, and the one with the lesser traffic road can be delayed for some time because more number of drivers should not be delayed. Got it? So we need to automate the traffic signal. How efficiently, how optimum. Got it? Means we need to design a model such that it need to take into consideration the length of the traffic. Okay, so driver delay will be reduced. Not only the driver delay, the congestion that occurs in a narrow road will also be reduced. Got it? So next, coming to online service. So online services. See, we almost everyone will shop on Flipkart, Amazon. Okay, clear. Not only in this pandemic, we will order food through Zomato, Swiggy. Clear. So there are many online services. Assume that suppose the earlier, okay, earlier those online services, okay, those e-commerce were centralized. Means there used to be only one server. Okay, so throughout city, any customer is requesting for some service, that service used to go to that particular server. Got it? So there was only one server, service request is received by that server and it responds to that server. So because of only one server, there's a longer delay in response. Clear? The customer receives response for waiting long time. Got it? So now they have come up with the decentralized, distributed computing power, distributed, okay, rather than maintaining their centralized server, distributed server. So customer's request will be moved to the nearest server, and that server is going to offer service to him, means offer response to him. So now the question is that my e-commerce, say Flipkart, their performance should be high. They want their performance should be high. Similarly, Amazon wants their performance to be high because of their competency. Got it? Because of competency, okay, but performance should be high, but there is some, I need to minimize the number of distributors. Okay, so in case of online services, okay, earlier I said it's a centralized, now it's a distributed. So in case of distribute, number of numbers and types of CPUs, the network structure and allocation of processing tasks, we need to decide. Okay, this need to be optimized. Clear with this? So in online services, when I say servers are distributed, how minimum servers with efficient performance. Clear? So now coming to optimization, okay, representation. Here, what is optimization via simulation? I'll just take an example of materials handling system. Okay, so materials handling system, there are the, let me say, you just go through slide. Okay, in a brief, because of time lag, I'll explain you. Okay, so listen, let me consider one model has been designed for material handling system. Let me assume. So what actually input and what output I am expecting. So let me say there are three input variables for this model. That is we call controllable design variables. In general, okay, in let me don't get let M control design variables. Controllable design variables means M input variables. Okay. Now first I'll tell you for a model there are M input variables. Let me designate as X1, X2, and the last with Xm. And when I feed this input, I'm going to get some output. Got it? I'm going to get some output. Let that be an output be represented as y of x1, x2, xm. So got it? X1, x2, xm are controllable design variables input to model. And for that output input, y of x1, x2, xn is an output. Got it? So, I might have several models for the same system. In each model, I'll feed the same input, and I will look for a output y. Got it? So based on it's a minimization system or maximization system, I need select one that is with max or min y. Clear? Got it? And simulation for m inputs, I may get some output performance. Okay, let it be y. I need to select based on min or max. Okay, y. So at the last line is so, but what actually one thing here at the last line I said, rather than choosing max y or min y, I have shown what maximize or minima e. What is the t? It's an expectation. So here, what actually I tell you, the output of simulation model is not fixed. It's a random. The output of a simulation model is random. Okay, so the y is in this case is a random. It's not fixed. Got it? So that random value. Okay, what may be the average random value? What may be the expectation? I should reduce that. I should minimize or maximize. I should minimize. Okay, got it? So here I repeat, there are m input and y is an output. I need to choose min or max of y, but y is random, so I need to minimize or maximum its expected value. So example I said, okay, see here, let me take material handling system. Okay, in material handling system, let me say there are three inputs. Let x1 be, okay, let x1 be number of automated guided vehicles. Got it? X1 be number of automated guided vehicles. X2 be load capacity of each automated guided vehicle, and X3 be the routing algorithm. I said routing algorithm means your trolley robot should decide, right, which rack it should move to select which items, so that all items will be selected very fast. So that is based on routing algorithm. So clear? So consider material handling system. Okay, there's a model with three inputs. Okay, one is number of automated guided vehicles. Second one is the load of each automated guided vehicle. Third is routing algorithm. So now what is output y in this case? How efficiently each automated guided vehicle utilized. What is, okay, how efficiently each automated guided vehicle utilized. Got it? Next, what is transportation delay? We need to consider all this, and that is represented by y. Got it? So y here is utilization of what? Automated guided vehicle transportation delay. Clear? Also overall investment and operation cost. So at the last line I shown y dash, not y, right? Because y dash means, I'll tell you. See, not only one model, there will be several models for this materials handling system. Got it? Several models for material handling system. Among those models output, I need to select one with which is optimum, that I represented as y dash. So why now? Why is optimization? Why is simulation difficult? Okay, I'll wind up with this topic. See, there's a variability. I said y is not fixed. Y is a random, right? The output of a model is a randomized. Clear? Clear. So I mean, there's a variability in the value of y. So I'm choosing expected value of y. Got it? So the existence of variability, sampling variability, forces optimization via simulation to make some compromise. I repeat, the existence of a sampling variability forces optimization via simulation to make some okay. uh, those uh, those compromises are guarantee a pre-specified probability of correct selection. To guarantee a pre-specified probability of correct selection. Next is guarantee asymptotic convergence. Got it? So many algorithms converge to the global optimal solutions. Got it? Third one is optimal for deterministic counterpart. Okay, I mean performance of each design, each model could be evaluated with some certainty. And the last one is robust heuristics. Heuristic, there's no methodology. Heuristic in general, what actually heuristic? Simply, when I look at several models, which model I will feel best, I will select. That is heuristic. But whether that is optimum, that need to be evaluated. Got it? So, and one more thing, why it's difficult means I said because for a single system there may be 100 to 1,000 to millions million models. Got it? So choosing the best is a time involvement, more time, maybe a day, week, month. Clear? So these are some reasons which makes optimization via simulation difficult. This is about today's session. Thank you for listening.